Hi, Mr.Li. This is my Unit 6, Lesson 7, and here we'll begin with Level 4A, and I'll explain how each of the levels you asked for to work. Here, we rolled a dice 100 times, and we're trying to display in the console the amount of times we rolled a double, and here you can see, if we speed it up, I landed 18 this time, 20 this time, and in order to how the program worked, in the beginning we created 4 variables, 2 of them which were the dice rolls, because dice is there too, and we have a counter because we're using a while loop this time, and it goes through from 0 to 100, which is 100 times, and it randomizes roll 1 roll 2 from 1 to 6, which is how a dice works. And here for the 4th variable doubles, in order to keep track, we have a condition statement of roll 1 equals roll 2, which obviously is conditionalizes, so it equals to ensures the double, then increases the doubles variable by 1. And here in the end, it displays it in the console. Onto 4B. 4B. Yep, load. Dang, that was already a minute. Alright, so let's speed it up and describe how it works. So in 4B, it's a countdown app. In the beginning, it creates a variable counter, and it asks for a user's input. It forces for a user's input of a number, and it goes down for counter -1 with a while loop all the way down to 1 before 0, so greater than 0. Because instead of 0, we have console log blast off. And you'll see in the console where it counts down from whatever number, let's do 6, all the way down to 1, and it says blast off instead of 0. And let's go level 8. Level 8, it wants us basically to randomize each of the 4 elements on the screen. And here, this is where we can just figure out and learn how the for loop and the element the element part here in label plus I to adjust each of the element on the screen. So here, when we run and randomize, it randomizes the text color and font size of each of the 4 elements with the for loop. One more time, from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And level 9, it's just on steroids because we're doing 20 different elements on the screen, which are called dices, because this is a dice roller app. And in order for this program to work, let's run through it first. We can roll it, and we generate 20 different dice rolls and displays the odd and even numbers. In the beginning, when we run the button, it creates the temporary variables odds and evens to track the amount of odds and evens within the roll. You can see here, and in order to track the amount of odds and even rolls within each dice roll, and for each dice roll, we use the for loop pattern we've seen in lesson 8 where we go from I equals 0 to I equals 20 because we have 20 different elements or 20 different dices, and within each dice roll or interval, within each increment, you can say, we can use a conditional statement. And here, if it rolls, we roll through a temporary variable roll in a random number 1 to 6, which is how a dice works. And it conditionalizes where if it's 1, 3, 5, which is odd numbers, it increases the odd variable by 1, which we created in the beginning. And if it's 2, 4, 6, it increments or increases the evens variable by 1. And you notice in the Google Classroom instruction how you asked after the first round, it clears the game board before it shows new results. And in the beginning, we do this we can see this if we slow down the program and roll it. You'll just notice how it goes one by one and clears each of the dice's area elements by 1 to the default settings. And this does so by going through a for loop and a dice, the specific dice. So for loop j plus j, and then it goes from dice 0 to 19, dice 19, and it goes through and clears the game board. And if you speed it up, that's the 2nd dice row, 3rd dice row, 4th dice row, 5th dice row. And that's how the program works. Thanks, Mr.Li. I'm out of stamina. Sorry for this long video.